Hey guys, it's Gabe. I wanted to today basically record my T-shot because today's the shot day. Just talk a little bit about testosterone and some experiences I've been having lately while I do that. First thing you need to give yourself a successful shot of testosterone is testosterone. So we've got that. And various other supplies as well. Something I need to give myself a good shot of testosterone is good music. I think it's important to think about your shot day as like, I don't know, a day to spoil or pamper yourself. Okay, you've got your testosterone. You need one syringe with a, usually the needle that you want to draw your tea up with, you want it to be a little bit thicker because you want a bigger hole for the tea to pass through because the tea is really thick. So, and then you'll also need a second needle, and I inject with 1.5 inch long 22 gauge needle. Now, as you'll see in a moment, I inject into my butt. I think if you're injecting into your thigh, you can go for a shorter needle because there's less fat there. But yeah, that's what I stick myself with. So first thing you want to do is warm your tea up. Not really something you need to do lately because it's been really hot where I live. It was like 51 degrees Celsius with the Humidex in Toronto recently. And that's not too far away from where I live. Pick up my testosterone, swab the top, disinfect, and start a little garbage pile. Now you stick that needle in the top of the... Oh. Another thing I often forget. This whole process for me is just I guess I'll do that. Like, I'm just really not too smooth at it. So, taking it up to the 7 line, which is a little tricky to measure. My doctor insisted I do 0.5 a week, but I just wanted to kind of reduce my frequency of injection, so I insisted on this. And that's just so that when you do finally pick up the tea vial, you can push the air that you've drawn into the vial, and that kind of gives you, it makes it easier for you to actually draw testosterone into the syringe. So, wait patiently for just a little while longer. You'll get to see me stab myself with something. That's fun. So, one thing I've been going through lately, since I increased my dose to this, is I've been extremely moody. When I say moody, I mean like, I've been incorrigible. Like, my irritation with my parents, who I'm currently living with, until I can save up some money and move to Toronto, has just been out of control. It's really hard to say if things have been exacerbated lately by my increase in testosterone and if I might kind of be T-raging, or if, and this is I think more likely, lately the proximity has really gotten to me. I don't like the phrase T-raging. I don't like using that language because I think that it creates an unfair stereotype that trans-masculine people need to sort of like freak out about constantly when a lot of us really chill out on testosterone. Okay, so now you want to scoop the lid back up with this. Click it on there. Pull that all the way in, so you've got it all in there. But I hope you guys can see this. And then twist that off and throw it into your sharps container. But I think that the language of T-raging erases accountability for aggressive masculine behavior. Because I can't abide being a masculine identified person with all the privileges that go along with that, and also be someone who is full of aggression and rage and feels no need to trouble that. I think that we all have the capacity to change those behaviors. So now you've swapped on your ridiculously huge long needle. I'm just going to set that down for a second. Okay, so it's the upper outer quadrant that you're injecting into. So I'm just going to measure halfway out, along the top there. And then when I think I'm in the right area, what I do to double check is just flex my butt muscle a couple of times, and if I can feel it flexing, then you know you're in the right spot. And from there, it's just a matter of making sure you're in the upper, outer enough quadrant. And then what I do to make sure that the pain isn't going to be, like, I've disinfected the whole area and I'll return to it. But what I do to make sure the pain isn't going to be too bad is I press on the area really hard, actually, for quite some time. And that kind of numbs it. And now we can remove the cap. And then we do one of these and push out all of the air, straight up there. And you just push until you see a little drop. There we go. That's a perfect dose right there, perfect. Cool, so find that spot again. Now I make sure I flex my butt to find the spot, but once I have found it, and I'm about to inject, I make sure I stop flexing, because that'll make it less painful. Now to reduce pain and bleeding, make sure that you're injecting, when you put the needle in, it's on a perfect 90-degree angle. So I've relaxed my one leg, put my weight completely on the other leg. Taking that away. There'll be a nice big red spot there now. 90-degree angle, and I exhale when I push in. Draw back on the plunger. Make sure there's no blood. And straight out. Now that right there was where the third little medicine swab should have come in. I just kind of give it one of those. Not even bleeding at all, and that's because generally I've got the angle right. When I've been a little bit off, that's when I start to bleed a little bit more. Cool. Scoop the lid back up. Twist that off, that goes in there. And then the rest of the stuff I just throw in the garbage. Anything covered in blood or that has touched blood goes in the sharps container. And that's pretty much it. All done. So it's really like a piece of cake. Like, the things that I find make the most difference making it painless. I don't give myself a lot of time. I just like start pushing. I don't worry about like getting it in really fast. Like, I generally like push it in pretty slow, but once I've started, you know, my body's just gonna keep doing it because you want to get it over with. And yeah, breathing out as I push it in, that helped huge. I used to hold my breath and kind of tense up a little bit. Make sure your muscle's totally relaxed, your weight's completely on the other leg. Breathe out, push in, and yeah, you should be good to go. And also aspirating. Always remember to do that, because if you hit a vein, when you pull back on that plunger, you're going to get a little bit of blood in there. I used to not know what would happen or what I should be seeing when I pulled back on it and didn't see any blood, but basically, it's not going to have a lot of give. You're not going to be able to pull back. It's going to feel kind of suction to something, and if you pull back hard enough, you're going to see little air bubbles expand in your testosterone in the vial, and those will just be the little minuscule ones that are already there. When you let go of the plunger again, they'll shrink back down. But I just thought it was really cool that pulling a plunger back when you've injected into muscle just creates like air pockets, like no blood. It's weird. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me. If you guys have not heard this song, it's from the last Harry Potter movie. It's Nick Cave. Oh Children. It's when Harry and Hermione, not the last one, the one before last. Deathly Hallows Part 1. And it's when they're dancing. So good. Okay, I'm a little jazzed now because I always have a little bit of adrenaline after doing my shot. But yeah, take care, you guys.